Let's start with a review of the third quarter with the S&P overlaid with astrological aspects to see the relationship. So please note that the red bar that shows a Mars-Uranus with moon wobble did not seem to affect the stock market in any significant way. I suspect that's because the green line up at the top, which shows Pluto on the node of Jupiter, which is supporting the stock market and making it much more aggressive in an upturn, is resisting that. And then look over that we see when we had the Mars Saturn, it did cause a dip in the market. And then when we had, that's the yellow dot, and when we look to the far yellow dot, the Sun, Uranus, Pluto, that it definitely showed a dip in the market. So there does seem to be a correlation between some aspects, and then the first red one did not seem to have any effect. With this, let's look at the fourth quarter. Hi, this is Naomi Bennett, and we are looking at the fourth quarter of 2013 and doing predictions, particularly for the stock market and mundane events. We start out fairly exciting this month in October because we will start an eclipse period. They only happen twice in a year, and this is the second occurrence. But this first week of October the 1st to the 5th, we will have a little bit more volatility. We see lots of fights in Congress, and there's obstinacy and digging in the heels. That will last all week. We probably won't see a resolution until after the 5th of this month. But the biggest trend for the markets is that we are in a continuing uptrend. We're probably going to hit an all-time high during this October and November. It may ease up a little bit in December, but we will see all-time highs and a market top, particularly in the October-November time frame. So the uptrend continues despite whatever news you may have and activities that may have. You'll have a little bit of blips, but it's going to stay in an uptrend till the end of the year. And then in particularly, we're going to have an eclipse period where you can have upsets in the market that will start around October the 15th when we have a lunar eclipse, but the center of that will be at the end of the month of October 30th. The eclipse is on November 3rd, and then it will fade away on the 5th. It will be fairly upsetting in that there will be more obstinacy. We could see more legal issues and resolutions with various laws that are formed, but it's all about holding the line and being particularly involved with government and large corporations. But always you will see some volatility during an eclipse period. And then the rest of November looks fairly calm. We'll continue some more of that frustration, but I think the end of November is going to be a very sweet spot, that we should have some great market periods of time for that life will calm down all the way through until December. Until mid-December, but watch out for the end of December during the holidays because everything will turn upside down. We have a very strong Mars-Uranus period during that time. It'll be violent and disruptive. Travel should be difficult. I would think that you're going to see more violence, death by gunshot or by bombs, and it will be difficult in the markets too. So that starts as early as December the 18th, and lasts until January the 2nd. So personally, I'm not going to be traveling. It may not be a good time to be with your relatives because you can wind up having more arguments, but the market should be turning around and flipping upside down. And definitely we could see more terrorist acts during that time, or mentally ill people that want to take it out with death by gunshot. So I would discourage traveling during that time. Stay closer to home and watch your driving, because when we get so distracted with emotional feelings, we tend to run red lights or drive too fast and then wind up having accidents or like texting. So it's not going to be a great holiday, but it should be great for the markets, and we'll see what's going to happen. Now remember on the please remember on the at the end of December, we will have an entire update for 2014. 2013 is a great year in comparison to 2014. So good luck in your trading, and be careful during the holidays. And the next post will be at the end of this year. All right, now we see the chart for this coming fourth quarter. Please note this 1 week, beginning in October 1st to the 5th, that we have a Sun, Uranus, Pluto. That's the yellow circle on the upper left-hand side of the chart. That is definitely a period of instability and market uncertainty, and now we have the possible shutdown of the government as of tomorrow. And then we have an important eclipse period, which is from October 30th to November 5th. Note that the actual solar eclipse is on November the 3rd, and it is in aspect with Saturn. So we expect a strong downturn in the market during this time period, and you can expect that we will see changes in laws during this time, because it's a legal aspect and it's a possibility that the old can break down, which means that you could see building collapse or bridges collapse. Anything that is too old or decrepit could wind up being having unexpected events during that period of time. Note up above that we have two big arrows. The green arrow is transiting Pluto on Jupiter's node, and then we have a double aspect in the pink where we have transiting Jupiter on Pluto's node. This is extremely optimistic for very high market highs. We should see all-time highs during this period, particularly October and November. So particularly from the middle of November until early December should be a very, very good time for trading. And then note that we have a red square at the very end. This is a Sun-Mars-Uranus aspect. It's a negative one. We should see a lot more volatility, and you could see events that require death by gunshot or bombings. It's bad for travel. People get upset and have arguments, so you could find people with instability going to extreme actions, and it doesn't look like a very good holiday period to me. So with this, I wish you the very best of trading, and be cautionary at the end of the year. 2013 is a much, much better year than 2014, but we will talk about that more extensively in the end of December. Thank you, and Naomi Bennett signing off.